Breaking news! Things are heating up behind the scenes for the Eagles, and I have some important things to talk about today. The Eagles' OTAs have already set the tone for what could be a pivotal season, and I have some interesting insights straight from the NovaCare complex. Tensions are rising, moves are being analyzed, and competition is fierce, especially on defense. I'll give you all the details, but first make sure you hit that like button. But only do that if you've been an Eagles fan for over 20 years. It's always great to see fans of all ages. If possible, comment something like, "Go Birds! My heart bleeds green and white." Now, let's get to the point. Quinyon Mitchell is making headlines for the kind of confidence fans love to see in a rookie. During OTAs, Mitchell expressed interest in shadowing the WR1S, showing that he wants to be more than just another cornerback. He wants to be the guy. While he knows Vic Fangio's defensive system doesn't always lend itself to shadowing due to its heavy use of disguised coverages, his willingness to take on that responsibility speaks volumes. That's not just lip service. Mitchell has been getting reps on both sides of the field, developing his versatility early on. That versatility could prove vital if Fangio decides to tweak the scheme during the season. It's a strong mindset. And Mitchell's aspirations reflect the new standard for Eagles defensive backs. Don't just play your role, dominate it. Speaking of defensive backs, there's a developing story at cornerback. Adoree Jackson and Kelee Ringo are locked in a tight competition, with both getting first-team reps. Jackson initially took the lead, but Ringo quickly rotated in. It's a classic training camp battle, one that could define the secondary's future. Don't be surprised if this competition heats up to the point where the front office considers bringing in more talent. The coaches clearly want to push this group to its peak. Another name that's stirring things up is Cooper DeJean. Listed initially as a nickel corner, DeJean also got snaps outside during base packages. With Fangio's base defense used only about 12% of the time last year, it might not seem like a big deal, but it is. This move shows the coaching staff is serious about maximizing DeJean's field time. His tackling ability and football IQ make him a perfect fit for the slot, especially against teams that like to sneak their best wide receivers inside. But the fact that they trust him outside too, that tells you all you need to know about how high they are on him. DeJean's flexibility, combined with Mitchell's aggression and Ringo's athleticism, is shaping this cornerback room into one of the most fascinating units on the roster. Let's not forget about the safeties. With Reed Blankenship absent during this OTA session, Andrew Mukuba and Sidney Brown stepped in as the first-team safeties. Mukuba showed poise and confidence, and Brown continues to build on the flashes he showed last year. Louis Cine and Andre Sam also rotated in, hinting at Fangio's willingness to experiment. This safety group might still be in flux, but it's clear the coaching staff wants to see who can emerge as a consistent playmaker next to Blankenship. On the defensive line, the spotlight is now on Jalix Hunt, and he's not backing down. With Nolan Smith still limited due to a Super Bowl injury, Hunt took the opportunity and ran with it, even recording a sack against Jalen Hurts during 11-on-11 drills. That's huge. Hunt spoke about how this offseason has been a turning point for him, emphasizing his focus on technical improvement. He's not just relying on athleticism, he's refining his craft. That's what separates good from great in the NFL, and Hunt clearly understands that. The vision is clear. Nolan Smith on one edge, Hunt on the other, with a rotational group featuring Azeez Ojulari and Josh Uche ready to plug in. If this unit clicks, opposing quarterbacks are going to be under serious pressure all season.
But what about Bryce Huff? That's where things get murky. Huff has been absent from all voluntary workouts so far, and that's a problem. When you're involved in trade rumors, the best thing you can do is show up and prove your value. His continued absence is raising eyebrows, and with June 1st just around the corner, don't be shocked if Huff becomes a cap casualty or a late trade piece. Right now, the Eagles would be lucky to get a 6th or 7th round pick for him. It's a strange situation for a player who could have made a real impact off the edge this season. Switching over to the offensive side of the ball, yes, the Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts is back and looking sharp. He didn't air it out much during OTAs, but his quick decision-making and accuracy were on full display. Even his only incompletion was a tight throw to Dallas Goedert that was just a touch off. With no DeVonta Smith and limited action from A.J. Brown, Hurts still commanded the offense like a veteran in full control. That's exactly what you want to see from your franchise quarterback this time of year. And then there's the A.J. Brown situation. Former Eagle LaShawn McCoy claimed that Brown told him, "Jalen runs the offense, not the OC." While that quote made some waves, let's be real, this isn't a red flag. In fact, it's normal. Hurts is entering his 5th season and finally has the autonomy to adjust plays at the line. Offensive coordinators like Kellen Moore aren't here to dominate, they're here to collaborate. It's Hurts' offense now, and that's how great teams are built. Still, you've got to wonder if this kind of talk might create noise the team doesn't need, especially when people outside the building try to twist it. There's so much riding on these early developments. The defense is young, hungry, and eager to prove something. The offense is loaded with talent, and the quarterback is playing with the calm confidence of a man on a mission. But questions remain. Do you think Quinyon Mitchell is ready to take on WR1S as early as his rookie season? Or is it too soon to hand him that responsibility in a defense that thrives on disguise and structure? Because let's be clear, Vic Fangio doesn't hand out trust easily. His system is about chess, not checkers. Every piece has to be in the right place, and one wrong move can blow the whole thing up. So while Mitchell's confidence is admirable and exciting for fans, it's going to come down to whether he can earn that trust day in and day out through camp, preseason, and the early part of the regular season. And when it comes to competition, we have to talk more about this cornerback situation. Khalil Ringo, for all his athletic upside, still has a lot to prove in terms of consistency and technique. He's got the tools to be elite, but it's about putting it all together. Adoree Jackson brings experience, but he's new to this defense. This is one of those training camp battles that won't just affect who starts, it could shape how the entire secondary operates. Fangio could lean toward experience early in the season, but if Ringo shows he's more than just a raw athlete, that job could be his by October. And let's not sleep on the idea that the Eagles might still be in the market for another veteran if neither guy locks it down convincingly. And don't forget what Cooper DeJean means to this puzzle. We're talking about a player who can legitimately play 3 different positions in the secondary: outside corner, nickel, and even safety. His tackling ability, football IQ, and willingness to do whatever the defense needs makes him the ultimate chess piece. If the coaching staff feels they can get more from someone else at nickel, maybe they move DeJean around. Maybe he shadows the slot. Maybe, late in games, he flips outside to give the Eagles a different look against the top wideout. The flexibility this kid brings can't be overstated, and in a Fangio system that thrives on unpredictability, that's gold. Let's also circle back to the safeties, because that's another underrated storyline. Sidney Brown is looking more and more like the high-energy enforcer this defense needs. Andrew Mukuba showed enough poise with the first team to keep himself in the mix even after Blankenship returns. Louis Cine and Andre Sam, both are wild cards, but Fangio has always been a guy who finds roles for guys who do one thing really well. It's a crowded group, but that's a good problem to have. So now, we've got a team that's deep, hungry, and already showing flashes of what could be a very dangerous identity: fast, flexible defense, and an offense run by a QB who is entering his prime. But let me ask you this, with Quinyon Mitchell wanting to take on WR1S, Cooper DeJean proving he can do it all, and Jalix Hunt looking like a potential breakout pass rusher, do you think this Eagles defense could actually be better than last year's? Let me know what you think in the comments. Could this be the most complete Eagles defense we've seen since 2017? If you're enjoying this kind of breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications. We've got more content coming your way every week: breakdowns, live streams, interviews. Video suggestions will be popping up on your screen now. Click on one and let's keep the conversation going. Go Birds!